All right. So we have another question that comes from one of the students. And this comes from section 1.3, question 49 out of the Lyle, Hornsby, and McGinnis. This is 10th edition of intermediate algebra, but this is for basic math. So this is, let's look at this question. It says, Ed Morna has $58,000 to invest in stocks paying 7% simple interest. So his principal, he has $58,000 to invest, paying in stocks that pay 7% simple interest. How much additional money should he invest in certificates of deposit paying 4% simple interest so that the annual return, so the return on these two investments is 5%? Let's see if we can get this one. So his return. All right. So this is a question about how much interest is he earning per year. So how much interest is he earning? Let's look at this again. So he has $58,000 to invest in stocks paying 7% simple interest. How much additional money should he invest in certificates? So this is a question about how much interest he's going to earn on a yearly basis. So let's say the interest for account 1 plus the interest for account 2, okay? Should he invest in certificates paying 4% so that the return on the two investments is 5%? So he wants to finish at the end. He wants to have a total rate of 5%. Right. So then, we could talk about the total interest. So we need to find an expression that shows the total rate. So let's see. We'll say interest total. Okay. So the interest in account 1. So interest is going to be I equals simple interest, in this case is going to PRT. Okay. So that means for account 1, he's going to have the principal for that account times the rate of that account annual. So the time is 1 year, but we'll say the time for that account. And then the principal for the second account, the rate of the second account, and the time for the second account should equal the total interest. All right. So instead of interest total, let's do this as total principal. So P total, the rate total, and the total time total. Now we can fill in a lot of this. So the principal in the first account is the 58,000. So in the first account, he has 58,000 to invest. Okay. Now in the first account, the rate is 7% interest. So he has 7% here. The time is 1 year. And let's go ahead and convert that percent to a decimal. So if it's 7%, as a decimal, it's going to be 0.07, and the time is 1 year. Now that's the first account. The second account, the principal, that's actually let me see. It says how much money for the second account, so that means we want to find out how much does he need to invest in the second account. The rate of the second account is 4%, so as a decimal, that's going to be 0.04, and the time there is also 1 year. Okay, so then the total principal is going to be, so at the end, he's going to have the 58,000 plus the principal of the second account. The final rate he wants the total rate to be 5%, as a decimal is 0.05, and the time is still going to be 1 year. So now it looks like we have one equation and one variable. So let's kind of get this all on the same line. All right, so now it looks like we have one equation and one variable, so we can solve. All right, let's get rid of some decimals first. Okay, so the highest decimal place is 2 spaces, so we can multiply the left and the right by 100 to get rid of the decimals. So I'm going to say the left side by 100 and the right side by 100. Now when we do this, we're going to distribute. This is going to get multiplied by 100. This is going to get multiplied by 100. And this will get multiplied by 100. So you just got to distribute. That'll take a little bit of practice. But when you do that, now we'll get 7 times the 58,000. So the 1 kind of goes. And then we get plus 4P2 equals, we're going to have 5 times the 58,000 plus P2. Okay. So we still have one equation and one variable. So now we want to simplify the left and the right. So on the left, we got the 7 times 58. Let's see, that's 0, 0, 0. 7 and 8, 49, 56, carry the 5, 35. I think that's 406. I'm assuming these numbers are correct. Let me pull up the calculator. So let's do the 58, 1, 2, 3 times 7, 406,000. Okay, let's keep going. So then plus 4P2, and then 5 times 58,000. 290,000. Plus 5P2. All right. So now we simplified the left and we simplified the right. And again, on the line above, we distributed the 5. So then next we want to isolate our variable. Okay, so we're going to move the 4P from the left to the right by subtracting. So we're going to say minus 4P2 on the left and right side of the equal sign. So it's called the additive property of equality. What we do on one side of the equal sign, we do the other to maintain balance. This technique is called the additive property of equality. So we're adding negative 4P2 on both sides. So on the left, it goes to 0. And then we have the 406, 1, 2, 3, equals to the 290, 1, 2, 3. And that becomes plus P2. So then I'll subtract the 290 and we'll get the amount in the second account. So then we'll say we need to say 406, 1, 2, 3 minus 290, 1, 2, 3, and that's 116,000. So the claim is that in the second account, he needs to do 116,000. Let's go back and try it in the original. So for it to be the 5%, let's see. So he has 58,000 to invest in the stock, paying 7% simple interest. How much additional money should he invest in certificates of deposits paying 4% simple interest, so that the annual rate of return on the two investment is 5%? So what we can do is just fill in the stuff in the original, and then yeah, and we can plug it into the final, and it should balance out, or it should be equal. So let's look at it. So then now the interest 1. So let's see. Yeah. So in account 1, we have 58,000 times, and that rate is 7%, so 0.07 times the 1, plus in the second account he has the 116,000 times the second rate, which is 4%, so 0.04, and we get a number. So he earned 870,000 interest at the end of the year. So then, to calculate the rate, we're going to divide that by P times T. So we're going to say that divided by, now the total principal is the 116,000 plus the 58,000. Okay. we want to say that. And we actually need another set of parentheses. So we're going to insert parentheses. So now we do that addition, and then we want to multiply by, oh, the time is 1, so we don't need it. Okay, so we're okay. So now we want to say that divided by the p times t, and this should give us a 5%. We'll get our 5%. That's about the best we can do. All right. So, provided we didn't set it up incorrectly, and if there are errors, please let me know. All right. Thank you.